China's military is flexing its muscles across the Pacific, parading Guam Killer missiles. From Guam's uneasy shores to the silent depths beneath the South China Sea, Beijing's expanding arsenal signals a new phase of great power rivalry. The balance of power in the Indo-Pacific may be shifting as Beijing pushes for a stealthier submarine fleet that could challenge US dominance by 2030. Guam's turquoise waters and tight-knit communities often feel far removed from global tensions. But Beijing's latest military parade, featuring a missile Chinese media call the Guam Killer, has residents watching the Pacific with fresh unease. Jacqueline Guzman, speaking to The Guardian, said that she is worried about paying bills and has trust in the US government to protect her. That confidence shifted when China's President Xi Jinping appeared with the leaders of Russia, North Korea and Iran during a parade marking Japan's World War II surrender. Frank Whitman, who lives in Barrigada near the Guam National Guard headquarters, said,
"From what I've read, just about everyone in this region should be worried. But there's really not much we can do."
Located about 3,000 kilometers east of China, Guam is a key US military hub. Analysts warn that if China attempts to annex Taiwan, the island could become a front line in any conflict. Earlier this month, China showcased nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missiles, anti-drone lasers, and four-legged robot wolves, highlighting Beijing's rapidly expanding arsenal. The display was particularly concerning for Guam, as these weapons could put the US military installations on the island within range, complicating America's ability to respond quickly in a regional crisis. Michelle Tucker, Public Affairs Officer for Joint Task Force Micronesia, emphasized,
Guam is a key strategic location for the United States and the Western Pacific. The region is among the most consequential for the US, and the military is ready to defend our US homeland here on Guam.
Meanwhile, to strengthen defenses, the Pentagon has approved a $1.5 billion integrated air and missile shield, designed to provide 360-degree protection within a decade. Colonel Grant Newsham, retired US Marine and senior fellow at the Center for Security Policy, cautioned,
Guam should be aware of the threat, even if not so worried. If the Chinese choose their timings and locations, they could really hurt US forces. The US military remains powerful and more than a match for China's new military technology.
For some residents, Xi's appearance alongside Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un in the parade was equally unsettling. Gina T. Riley, a communications specialist for a military contractor, said,
Joint public appearance by Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Xi Jinping signals closer political ties and mutual support. That can alter regional and global diplomacy and make coordinated actions more likely. It's alarming because it can be a military and security allegiance.
Guam Senator Jesse Lujan, chair of the legislature's Federal Affairs Committee, underscored the island's preparations.
Our role is to remain calm, informed, and united, trusting that the proper channels are in place to ensure our security.
As rivalries sharpen across the Pacific, Guam stands as both US sentinel and potential target, a reminder that the front line of great power competition can feel deceptively close. China already operates the world's largest naval fleet, and analysts warn its undersea force is on track to outnumber and, in some respects, challenge the United States within the decade. Despite US dominance in nuclear-powered submarines and aircraft carriers, Beijing is rapidly modernizing its submarine fleet. Security experts now project that by 2030, China will not only field more submarines than the US, but its next-generation boats will be quieter, faster, and armed with advanced weapons and sensors that can stay submerged longer. Analysts say this trajectory could reshape the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific, a region already tense over Taiwan, which China has vowed to unify by force if necessary. The Center for Strategic and International Studies reports that China now commands the world's largest maritime fighting force, with 234 warships to the US Navy's 219. A US Congressional Research Service paper noted that
China's navy is by far the largest of any country in East Asia, and sometime between 2015 and 2020, it surpassed the US Navy in numbers of battle force ships.
The US Department of Defense adds that China's Navy already counts over 370 battle force platforms and is expected to grow to 395 ships by 2025 and 435 by 2030. By contrast, the US Navy's FY 2025 budget projects about 294 battle force ships by the end of FY 2030. Washington still holds a decisive edge in carriers, with 11 nuclear-powered carriers against China's 2 operational conventional carriers and a third on sea trials. But undersea, the gap is narrowing. According to the Nuclear Threat Initiative, the US Navy currently fields 71 nuclear-powered submarines, including 14 ballistic missile submarines. China operates around 60 submarines, only 12 of them nuclear-powered, but it is accelerating production of both nuclear and diesel-electric boats, some equipped with air-independent propulsion for stealth. Beijing's nuclear-powered submarine program dates to the 1970s, but has advanced rapidly. It's Type 93. Shang-class attack subs, developed with Russian input, introduced quieter operations and vertical launch systems for cruise missiles. Newer designs, including the Type 95 and Type 96, are expected to rival US and Russian counterparts. Brent Sadler, a US Navy veteran and senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation, in an interview with the Wall Street Journal said,
They could be on the cusp, for submarine operations, of a technological leap where they are able to quiet the submarines significantly and it becomes very hard to track them.
Christopher Carlson, retired US Navy Reserve captain and former Pentagon Naval Systems engineer, added,
The Type 95 is going to be a very quiet sub. That's going to complicate matters greatly.
The Institute for National Defense and Security Research notes that the Type 095 can remain submerged for about 90 days and carry YJJ-18 anti-ship and CJ-10 land attack cruise missiles.